Embarrassing things happening to me used to be my bane. I remember this was a few months back. There was this girl that I saw just standing on her phone, and my friends kind of got me to go up to her. I'm very nervous today. I don't know why, but I gather up the confidence. I just move my legs and I go up to her. And honestly, in this lack of confidence energy, I'm just very timid. So I'm like, oh, excuse me. She doesn't look up from her phone actually. And for some reason, I keep going. And she finally looks up, maybe because I've tested her too much. And she's like, yeah, you're really pretty. And she's like, thank you. I creeped out. And then she kind of starts walking away a bit. Two older girls, they start walking by. And they kind of see this interaction. So they turn back as they're walking and they're like, oh, are you all right? I just got rejected. It was a bit embarrassing. And as I'm about to open my mouth to say, oh yeah, it was fine. Thank you though. The girl turns around and she's like, yeah. They were talking to the girl. They thought I was assaulting this girl and sexually attacking her, and she needed protection because I'm this villain. I was embarrassed, I was nervous, and this was just the salt in the wound. I've literally gotten stabbed. And they've just sprinkled salt in the wound without even caring. And I go back to my friends and I'm telling them the story and they're all laughing. They're quite consolidating. Oh yeah, it's fine. But bro, it's so painful. It was so embarrassing. I'm telling you the story and it's no longer embarrassing. It's funny even. If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have a story to tell you right now. And I've cracked the code to embarrassment. Think about how weird that is. This story that was so embarrassing, I literally didn't even want to tell my friends what happened. I just told them anyways. This story that was embarrassing and I didn't want to say. Now I'm literally saying it with confidence on this video, and hopefully you're having fun listening to it. You aren't like, I hate this guy, this channel sucks, I'm about to click off. Don't click off, please. You are having fun listening to this, and it's because the story is engaging, it's interesting, and it's actually fun for me to say now. How? This story happened a few months ago. It was embarrassing then. It's not embarrassing now. Something changed within that time period, that elapsed time, that made it that story is no longer embarrassing. The event that happened that was so treacherous and bad and horrible, it's no longer embarrassing. It's funny even. Something happened, something changed with my perception of this event that completely changed how I see it. And if we can collect this thing that happens throughout time to make embarrassing events less embarrassing and more funny, we can literally use that in seconds. Imagine some embarrassing thing happens to you and you just use this skill, this secret ability, and immediately it's no longer embarrassing and it's funny and you feel no fear behind it anymore. And it doesn't even affect you. Within a second, just no more embarrassment. Imagine you have that much control of this thing. And honestly, not to jack my own. I might be the smartest man alive. I don't know anyone who's ever talked about this. I don't know anyone who's ever cracked this code. I don't know anyone who's thought about it like this. I might be the smartest guy alive. I don't think you'll ever hear anyone use this. I've coined my own term for it. I figured out what happens between this elapsed time. I've researched on embarrassment and how it works. I am going to make sure you never face embarrassment again. You will gain this skill, this principle that will allow you to never face embarrassment again. Because you'll have this skill that you can just equip. That was an embarrassing situation. Embarrassment be gone. If you want that, if you want to never have to face embarrassment and have complete authority over what you see as embarrassing, what you don't, basically have authority over your mind, then watch this video to the end, put it on full screen, pay attention, focus, and let's begin. It's called time compression. You aren't actually compressing physical time, unfortunately. It's actually the idea that we are compressing this elapsed time. Something happens between this elapsed time. It might be 6 months, it might be a year. This embarrassing thing might be embarrassing for like 5 years, who knows? But between this time, we are learning the skill of compressing it. So this thing that happens between the time happens faster and it's no longer embarrassing. When that happens, it no longer plagues you, it no longer affects you, because embarrassing things are like very annoying to deal with. Like they literally plague you in your sleep. Imagine you're trying to fall asleep and you literally get this embarrassing memory and it makes you feel bad. I know it seems like such a small factor, but having this memory in your body that your subconscious will always remember, that you always just wish, I wish I didn't do that, why did I do that? It kind of messes up with your self-image, it messes up with how you perceive yourself. So embarrassment is never a good thing to take upon yourself. If possible, you should try and avoid having to face embarrassment, but that's impossible, right? You can't just live your life hiding from it forever. Like, you have things to do, right? You can't just say, oh, I'll never take any risks that could embarrass me, because you'll never get anywhere in life. You need to take risks. So how can we minimize the damage of those risks? How can we compress time? Well, first of all, we need to understand what embarrassment is. If you're going to tackle something, if you're going to fight an enemy, we need to know who that enemy is. It's very difficult to fight an invisible, like, who am I even fighting? The air? You see, embarrassment is the threat response to the perceived social judgment of other people. So let's say you are naked, right? You just get transported to the biggest city in your country. You are completely butt naked. Just randomly, like right now you're watching this video, you're calm, you're like regulated. This prince guy is so attractive. And then suddenly, boom, as you're having that thought, you get sent over to this big city and it's light and you're butt naked and everyone is staring at you. Imagine how that would make you feel. You'd be embarrassed, you'd be stressed, you'd be like deregulated. What's going on? Why am I here? Why am I butt naked? Your brain would be screaming. This happens because you know people are judging you. Okay, of course, yeah, you got teleported. That would be quite stressful as well. But the embarrassment factor of it would be because you know other people are judging you. You are naked. Other people are looking at you naked and they know it's wrong because you know their morals, because you have the same morals as them. So you feel embarrassed. You feel embarrassed knowing that these people are thinking of you negatively. This is normal. This is healthy. This is how humans were evolved to be. We are social creatures. We care about other people, how other people think of us, because if we didn't, we die. So how do we combat this? We are going to have this response either way. It's natural, it's evolutionary. How do we combat this though? Well, I want you to think of another scenario. You're in a cafe, you're drinking your matcha latte, pink drink with the croissants. It's quite a lax cafe. And at the corner of your eye, you see a girl. She's the most attractive girl you've ever seen. You never even thought girls like that existed. You genuinely didn't, but you're surprised. Whoa, I should talk to her. You start getting nervous immediately. This calm cafe evening has suddenly become like very nerve-wracking. You start feeling weak. Your legs literally get a little shaky. Your palms start to sweat. You start thinking, should I do it? Should I not? What if I talk to her and this happens and that happens and this happens? And you are judging the situation. You're having these negative thoughts. What if I talk to her and this happens? What if I talk to her and like I get rejected really badly and the people in the cafe see and they start like laughing at me? You'll start assessing whether it's actually worth it. You'll do risk analysis and then you won't do it. You'll feel nervous about doing it. And that's because you'll understand that if that does happen, the consequences would be severe. That's embarrassment. People will judge you. People will insult you. So you feel embarrassment at the idea of doing it. If you do it and get embarrassed, that would be horrible. Now, let's say you do talk to her and you get rejected and it's really bad. And then after like, say, 5 months, it's no longer embarrassing. What changed? You have certainty of the outcome. You now understand why this happened and what was gonna happen. Before, you were thinking like the worst possible case. You could die. These people could insult you for the rest of your life. But in reality, you talk to her. Most people in the cafe weren't even paying attention because they were busy. They were talking to their family. They were enjoying their mocha latte, thinking that girl isn't even that attractive, to be honest, because she isn't their type. And in reality, like 3-4 people actually saw what happened and they don't really care that much. Like they forgot in 2 days. And nothing bad has happened after 5 months. And your brain is kind of calm now. It's like, oh, well, it's been 5 months and nothing bad has happened. We know nothing bad is going to happen, most likely. So there's no point in being embarrassed. It's cool. It's kind of like this anxiety, not knowing the solution. What's going to happen? What's the outcome? Now that you know the outcome, the embarrassment is gone. So we understand why we feel embarrassed and we understand what happens between this time period. Now, how do we compress time? Understanding these concepts, we'll want to be able to use them in a way that would be to our advantage. So when we talk to new people, even if something bad happens, you get the best of both worlds where something good could come out of it, and even if it doesn't, you won't feel embarrassed. How do we do that? You need to compress time, and in order to do that, you ascertain the outcome to the point where you literally have to delude yourself into believing that the outcome that you want is true. You want to talk to this girl in the cafe. You start feeling nervous. Your brain wants you the worst possible scenarios. You need to rewire your brain. You need to compress time and just get an outcome. If you can get an outcome, like in your mind, you just think of what will happen, you'll actually start to act in that way, which one, it'll just make you in a better energy. Like you'll talk to her and you'll be more confident and more happy because your brain knows the outcome. It knows it isn't that bad. Like imagine instead of waiting 5 months for your brain to calm down and realize, oh yeah, the outcome wasn't that bad. It only takes you 2 seconds before you already picture the outcome in your mind. You save so much time of like this needless wrestling with your brain. So for example, instead of thinking these negative thoughts, oh, what if she rejects me and this happens? And you need to consciously think to yourself, okay, if I talk to her, what will happen is I will go up to her and I'll be confident and she'll probably really vibe with me. And even if she were to reject me, which she probably won't, like the guys and the people who overhear, they'll like actually feel kind of proud that I did that. Like they'd want to do that, but they just don't have the confidence. And they'll actually come up to me and they'll be like, oh bro, I actually really respect how you were confident. Good on you. Like you got rejected, but still, I can't do that. I'm not as confident. I really respect that. And that could literally be my new friend. And I'm like teaching him how to get confidence. I'm literally teaching him this concept of compressing time. That's what's going to happen. And immediately you'd start to notice you're kind of calming down. The idea of talking to her isn't actually as nerve-wracking, isn't actually as scary. And you're more likely to do it. And more importantly, after the event, you aren't even that embarrassed because you know that there's an outcome that's certain. And even if you were wrong about the outcome and it changes a little bit, guess what? You can just make a new outcome in your mind. You can literally just change the dynamic. So let's say you picture this outcome. You go up to her, horrible rejection. You can reframe the story and fabricate information. You can tell yourself now, okay, she rejected me. And now the people in the cafe, they've all seen it and they are all jealous. They wish they could talk to girls like me, but they can't. They saw that girl. They all thought she was attractive, but I was the only one who went up to her. And they are all kind of envious. They wish they could do that. And actually, in reality, they're looking at me kind of thinking, wow, I respect that guy. Good on them. Instead of having to like take this really horrid walk of shame back to your seat as you got rejected and everyone is looking at you, it's like these people are looking at you in admiration. Whoa, this this guy just talked to a girl. Whoa, how can I do that? He's so cool. You change the frame and it literally changes how you see the situation. It's no longer embarrassing. You've ascertained an outcome. By truly believing this, you will never have to face embarrassment again. How do you truly believe this then? There are various ways. I recommend two. The first is affirmations. Affirmations are kind of just telling yourself good qualities about yourself. So for example, I will attempt to tell myself throughout the day, and I'll also set aside like 2-3 minutes to do this specifically. I'll tell myself positive thoughts. Yeah, man, I'm brilliant. I'm like a G. I'm so confident. I have big muscles. Everyone loves me. Bam, 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 bam. I have all these positive thoughts like, yeah, I'm the man. Look at this dollar. And by doing that, you start to have them throughout the day. Most people have negative thoughts throughout the day. Most people go throughout the day and they feel bad about themselves. They will literally demean themselves, degrade themselves, and berate themselves in their mind. They'll start thinking like they'll be walking about and they'll think, my lips are kind of big right now. I think I look kind of unattractive to other people. I probably don't look that good right now. You know, my hair's kind of messy. I hope no one is looking at me and judging me. They'll get these thoughts throughout the day. Most people have negative thoughts like this, and you are like that as well. They may not be conscious, but they will be subconscious. You will actively think about yourself negatively. So I want you to do this for the next week. Give yourself affirmations. Set aside 3 minutes a day. It's only 3 minutes. It's not too long. Set aside this time where you literally just sit down. You can close your eyes if you want, like just be hyped up and just tell yourself, yes, I'm the man. I'm such a G. I did this yesterday. I'm such a brilliant person. You start to notice you'll literally feel happier. And if you do this consistently enough, these thoughts will literally start to override not only your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind, and you get them automatically. This requires consistency, of course. Whenever I don't do these, they slowly start to go back down and I start thinking like a regular guy again. And I'm like, yeah, I need to do this. I probably don't look good right now. I forgot to comb my hair. You start feeling more negative. Unfortunately, and I'm not sure why, we are all just primed to feel negative about ourselves. Maybe it's trauma, maybe it's society nowadays, but it seems like unless you actively make an effort to be happy and to feel good about yourself, unless you're like doing affirmations, this is basically the only way. Or you're just extremely healthy, like you only eat natural food, you're out in the sunlight almost every day, you're climbing trees. But do you want to do that every single day? Are you really that dedicated that you are going to do that every day? Or would you rather set aside 3 minutes, not do as much work, still live your normal life, set aside 3 minutes to tell yourself affirmations? If you don't do this, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You're literally missing this opportunity of a lifetime to never feel embarrassed again. And the next thing is visualizations. You should do these every day as well, alongside the affirmations. Ideally after them, because then you'll be in a good hype mood. So when you do these visualizations, they are even more positive. Visualizations, as the name suggests, it's kind of just visualizing. Like you close your eyes and you picture a scene. Imagine right now, you're in that coffee shop. You have your coffee. And because you're a man, it's not pink latte, matcha, it's black coffee. You're drinking your black coffee, and as you sit there, you see that girl, and immediately you compress time and walk over to her. You're already in a good mood. You've done these affirmations. You already have in your mind that she's going to accept you and she's going to really vibe with you. You go in with a big smile and you're just like, excuse me, you're really pretty. What's your name? And she's a little bit startled. She doesn't really get this often, but She's receptive, she's kind of curious. Some like weirdos at the back are staring at you as you do this approach, hoping for your demise because they wanted to talk to her, but they weren't as confident. But no, you hold firm, you stand strong. She's talking to you. You're having a good conversation right now. You're getting to know her. And after talking to her for a bit, you get a number. You literally hug her as you leave. And you go back to your seat, just feeling very, very happy and proud of yourself. That was a very good visualization. If you do that every day, you'll obviously feel happier, but also when you're in a similar situation, you'll immediately start to recall these visualizations. Think about that. Imagine this visualization you did right now. You go to a cafe tomorrow and you see a girl and you're in this exact situation. You see a girl and normally you wouldn't approach her, but you just get a flashback of like subconsciously you remember this visualization and you immediately think, oh, of course I'm going to get accepted. This happened in my visualization. Why wouldn't I? Of course I'm going to get a number. And you go up to her with the same energy and the same thing happened. You predicted the future, bro. You literally predicted the future. So do visualizations. Do this after affirmation, so you literally feel happier, you feel more willing to do these. Together, this will take 5 minutes a day, and you'll never face embarrassment again. You'll feel happier throughout the day. You'll feel more positive thoughts. You'll literally be more proud of yourself. People will start to realize this, and you'll literally get more compliments from people. You'll start making friends more because they'll just notice this like positive demeanor you have. There's a plethora of benefits besides just confessing time, and you're wasting it if you aren't doing this. It's such low maintenance for such high reward. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been doing this myself much either. I used to do, and that's why I know the effects of it, but I've been slacking on affirmations and visualizations. I haven't been doing them. Especially like doing visualizations in the moment when you see the girl, just like very briefly. It improves your confidence so much, and I've been missing that. So I'm not even in room to talk to tell you, hey, why aren't you doing these? I can't tell you that. So let's set a challenge together right now. Let's make it so for the next 7 days, we will consistently do affirmations and visualizations, spending 5 minutes a day, not doing anything else, no multitasking. Put your phone away, close the windows and just sit in silence and just do the affirmations and visualizations and just feel that like euphoria, this positive feeling that you have just flowing through your body. Not only does it make you more confident, it gets you through the day. Like you literally sit down at your work desk if you work or maybe study, and you just feel like this drive to keep going and writing and doing whatever you're doing because you're positive now. You feel high energy. Hope this helped. Check out the top link in the description. It's the social protocol. You will get better at socializing. You'll start making friends. You'll start becoming more confident. This is only one of the many tips and advices in it. There's a community of like-minded people who also want to improve at their social skills, who you can meet up with, make friends with, etc. Hope this video helped you. Check that out. Top link in the description. I'll see you in there. And remember, consistency is over a lifetime. Bye-bye.